Well, hello there, RJB from RJB TV. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue and finish Leebokgu against Lucky Back. They've already played a total of 3 games. Lucky Back winning every single one of them. So now Leebokgu here on the purple Terran on the top corner of the map. Let's see if I've got the names right. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, Lucky Back here on the top corner on the purple. And on the other side of the map, we have a Lucky Back there on the Protoss, on the teal color. The names are perhaps a little bit small. They're a little bit small, aren't they? I mean, the RJB TV Esports Cast's logo is pretty big, but the names might just be a little bit small if I put them there all by themselves. That aside, though. That aside. A Lucky Back here on the teal Terran. Lucky Back is a very strong Protoss player, but Leebokgu himself is a pretty damn strong Terran player. This should be kind of interesting. This could go either way. Cross-map situation. Usually that is very, very good for a Terran. It's going to take a very long time to travel all across the map for Lucky Back and find out what Leebokgu is doing, but also just to attack him. It's not going to be an easy task to break a corner spawn Terran on opposite ends. We went for barracks, supply depot barracks there. Standard build order, Lucky going for Nexus first, no gateways because he's on a corner spawn. When you're on a corner spawn, you can get away with a Nexus first as compared to being on the middle spawn. On the middle spawn, it's a little bit harder to get away with. Is he going for a double gateway? He's going for Nexus double gateway. Maybe a forge coming up right after. Maybe it is going to be a pylon. Okay, this is very, 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 I'd say, non-traditional from Lucky. Most of the time, when we see Nexus first, we see a forge into a gateway, into a choke, then a gateway, 2 cannons in the front, then 2 gas, and a cybercore. This time around, Lucky Back is just switching things up. And you know what? It's probably gonna work because we're in a cross-map situation, so the Zealots will be finished and ready to protect the choke once Marines, if they were to come from across the map, were to arrive here at the choke. The Zealots would be finished up, and he would be able to get those cannons up and operational, completely safe, and without issue. Well, Leebokgu, having found out where Lucky is on the map, cancels, I think, an academy. He might stop mining gas and add on a command center. He's currently almost on 400 minerals in total. He is moving across the map, though. He's moving across the map, wants to put some pressure down on those cannons, still producing Marines, is saving up a lot of minerals. That's a lot of minerals being saved up there. Goes for a very early factory, and then he goes for the command center. So once again, the order of structures being built here by Leebokgu is also kind of unorthodox. Not really something a lot of people do in this specific order. But Leebokgu has a plan, although he stops making Marines for a little bit. Zealots are moving out here for Lucky. One Marine there in the front went down. One Zealot went down as well. Probe there still has not found Leebokgu's base. Leebokgu there, 2 Marines there in the front. No engineering bay yet. No command center number 3. But I do see he's got about 400 minerals there in the bank. So he might get number 3 as well. No academy, still no Marine production. So he's just saving up money. Here's an academy on the way, though. Marine production resumes. Gonna keep that probe out of his base. Gonna start a bunker in the front as well. Start building a choke. Whereas Lucky is now finishing up his cyber core, getting a cannon in the back. Finish up the cannons in the front. Got pylons on both corners to be able to see barracks being flown over the hill to build fire bats and run this probe. So that's not gonna happen. It doesn't really happen much in corner spawn against corner spawn all the way across the map, though. So it's better to be safe than sorry, but the chances of a barrack floating over in a cross map is really, really low. So Leebokgu there is building a choke, but he only has 5 Marines. 4 Marines are in the bunker. So the Zealots there are going to just sneak right in. Leebokgu forced to micro out of the pathway and open up a door for Lucky to walk all the way into the base and see that there's a factory with siege mode on the way, 2 barracks and 1 command center in the back. Might spot out the starport on the bottom corner as well, as he makes a full circle all the way around. Just going to kill whatever he can and gather as much information as time allows him, because the health bars have run out, Zealots are dead and gone, and all the information he wanted, he got it. Now he's going to have to formulate a pretty damn good attack there on Leebokgu. Leebokgu is playing this one very small. He wants to basically cheese a tank drop. He wants to cheese a very, very fast tank drop onto Lucky. But he's not building the dropship yet because he doesn't have enough gas. Because he started his second gas way too late. Leebokgu is a little bit disorganized here. He should have already had gas number 2 finished. He should have already had that dropship earlier, because now the dropship is still being produced, but 2 tanks are already finished, which means that Lucky is going to have more time to prepare himself against the dropship. You kind of, when you're going for a dropship cheese, want to do it as fast as possible, and preferably without your opponent knowing it's happening. Lucky scouted it, which means there's a timer. You have to be really fast. But Leebokgu wasn't being really fast with it. The dropship only now finishes up. He could have already been right about here, flying into this base. There's 2 Dragoons there though, but at least the cannons would not have finished. So the cannons are going to be finished up on the bottom side, not yet on the top side. He's flying over the bottom side though. There's also pylons on the middle here that are going to see the dropship coming in, which should give Lucky enough time to move his Dragoons to try and intercept that dropship. Still only 2 cannons in the front. 2 reavers finished up. Zealot speed on the way. He's got about 6 gateways in total. He's still producing Zealots from every single one of them. The Zealot's shuttle speed is on the way there in the air. Marine range is being reached there on the Academy. Scan there is coming up because he has to scan to see what's there before sending in the dropship. It's still in the bottom corner though. Leebokgu is very, very preoccupied with other things than his drop. Scans Lucky's base. Lucky sees the... He kind of sees that he might have taken too much time. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cannons and 2 Dragoons. 1 cannon there on the top corner. 3 more that are being built. Another one. A lot of cannons there to protect. He's going to try to fly in. He sees a lot of pylons there though. This doesn't really look like it's going to really work out for him. 2 reavers there in the front. The raid should start to commit on taking down the shuttle though, because the reavers are doing some real damage here. The tanks are too far in the back, and the wall has been taken down. Tanks sieged up way too far away, which now means Zealots are going to start taking tank shots, going to start taking focus away from the tanks. Tanks are going to get taken down there by the reavers. Now this is really bad for Leebokgu. He's losing his choke, and more Zealots are coming from across the map. Dropship, they're coming in there, going to try to take stuff down, but Zealots and Reavers are absolutely destroying Leebokgu. Now the Zealots are on the scene as well. Dropship, they're taken down by Dragoons and cannons. This went very wrong for Leebokgu. A lot of mistakes. He is not on point. He is not playing his best. This is Leebokgu not playing focused. Things are... He's doing the right things in terms of getting the right structures, the right units, doing the right moves with getting turrets, but he's doing them all with the wrong timings and not with the precise micro that you would need against a player like Luckyback. Because Luckyback, he's gonna... Oh! That is not supposed to happen. Did you see that? The Zealot just walked right through. It's not supposed to walk right through. These... Oh, depots are going down. Luckily, he has no level 1 attack, but Leebokgu's army is very small, and Lucky is just going to keep on sending units across the map and adding on more gateways, getting Dark Temples as well, while he's breaking down the front door here and preventing any turrets from being constructed. Actually, he doesn't even have an engineering bay. He has no engineering... Wait, he does have an engineering bay there in the air. I'm blind, otherwise you couldn't have turrets. But there's no turret there in the front. Unit's still there on the side, wreaking havoc. He should be able to survive this small wave, but the next coming wave with Dark Templars is going to be an absolute menace. We've got a Reaver shuttle there unloading behind. Ooh! He can't fight back. He can't fight back. Shuttle there is coming and approaching on the minerals. He's unloading pretty far away. Raid is not committing to the fight, not going for the shuttle. Shuttle is flying away. Dark Templars in the front, going to take down those depots. This is absolute madness, absolute chaos. Leebokgu is just completely getting outpaced, outplayed, completely destroyed. Nothing seems to be going well for him. He's completely disorganized, trying to do the right things, but maybe it's a little bit too late. Lucky is too far ahead, too far in the lead, and things are falling apart. And Leebokgu loses game number 4 as well. Our SCW champion in 1v1 is just getting picked apart in this entire series. Maybe he was tired, maybe he was not in his best shape. There's always, maybe he just got outplayed completely, outmatched, outskilled. You never quite know, but things are not going well for Leebokgu. Which leads us to game number 5, where we're going to have a repeat. Again, Leebokgu on a Terran, he wants to redeem himself. Because in game number 4, he just showed a disorganized, not focused Terran. He was doing the right things, but incorrectly with all the wrong timings. Against a player like Luckyback of this very top level Protoss, you have to hit all your timings as a Terran perfectly. You cannot make a mistake, because a player like Luckyback will kill you. Literally. And we saw it happen. You give him a finger, he takes your hand, then he takes your arm, and then he takes all of you down 6 feet under, down into the ground. This guy is brutal, savage, no mercy. He will wreck you. Leebokgu here once again going for... Oh, is that supply? He's switching things up. I was expecting a barracks first, but it's a supply depot first. He's going for the more traditional Western build order of supply depot into barracks instead of the other way around. And that should be perfectly fine. I do expect Leebokgu to just go for something completely different. He's not going to go for 2 barracks. He's going to go for 3 barracks. He's not going to go for a fast tank truck cheese. I predict he's going to go for a much safer, more standard build order with less improvising and focusing more on the basics, the fundamentals, good timings, good choices, and not missing macro cycles. Back to the basics. That's my prediction for what Leebokgu's going to do, because he has a lot of skill. He's going for 2 barracks. I am wrong. He's going for 2 barracks there. He's got the refinery there already on the way. He's going to try to do the same. Is he going to try to do the same thing? I really thought Leebokgu would go back to the fundamentals, back to the core basics of 1v1 on fastest. Timings and production. Timings, production, and choices. But Lucky is going to give him some leeway, because Lucky is going for triple Nexus opening. This guy is this is madness. I've got no other way of describing what Lucky is doing here. Triple Nexus, get out of here. That is simply put insane. And whether he's going to get punished for it is going to come down to whether Leebokgu is going to find him in time or whether he won't find him in time. He's getting distracted by a probe. He doesn't want to let the probe into his base, while this SCV there is going to try to sneak into Lucky's base and get some information. Lucky going for 5 gateways in total. Is Leebokgu going to scout the entire base or just a choke? He's going all the way in. All the way in. Down to the base. You're in the back. Triple Nexus. He's like, wow, Lucky, you are something else. Going for 5 gateways against my Terran. Just goes to show Lucky is feeling kind of confident. He's putting Leebokgu to the test. Does Leebokgu have what it takes to punish a triple Nexus, or does he not? I do think if Leebokgu went for triple barracks into Academy, he would have had a slightly better chance at hurting a Lucky really, really badly here. But now we've got a lot of Zealots on the way, and those Zealots are going to be stronger than the 2 barrack production army Leebokgu will and can have. So yeah, 5 gateways to compensate for the very late start of Zealot production. But if Leebokgu builds himself a good choke, Lucky will never ever break through. So this should be a game where Leebokgu gets himself a lot of time to build and grow strong, completely untouched, unharmed, unbothered. I mean, the Zealots are going to try, but he's got Fire Bats there in the front. He's got a bunker as well. Fire Bats in bunkers. They absolutely love Zealots. Zealots don't like Fire Bats. It hurts. It hurts. It burns. Not into the pit. It burns. So 2 gas there on the way. Maybe 3. 3 gas on the way. We've got a Cyber Core there on the way as well. And another forge? Is that a forge? Oh, that's pylons. It's all there's no Cyber Core for Lucky. Really is pushing his luck here. He's pushing his luck with a very weird build order. There's no Cyber Core yet. He's starting his gas, but no Cyber Core. Cyber Core is now on the way though, but Marines and Firebats there are knocking on the front door. Now we're basically gonna see what happens when 5 gateways fights against 2 barracks with 4 Firebats. But the Leebokgu there pulls back. He kills the pylon. He's kind of just tickling Lucky. While you're back at home, he's once again going for fast double star. I'm not sure if the double starport is the right answer here. As we can see, Lucky's just going for gateway army. He doesn't have any technology yet. Whereas Leebokgu here is preparing for drops because he's going for a double starport, which is the usual response against shuttles. Got 1 factory getting siege mode and siege tank, which is the usual answer to a shuttle reaver trying to push through the front. And none of that is going to happen. It's all just going to be Zealots, a large, huge, humongous early game Zealot army of a 5 gateway production, going to try to break through. He's getting level 1 attack, getting another forge, and getting a Citadel of Adun as well. The wall there in the front, though, is finished up for Leebokgu. I mean, the wall is finished, but the supply depots are still under construction. He has no engineering bay yet. It is being built there, though, so you can start building turrets in the front as well. Got Dragoon range on the way. Leebokgu scans something. Scans the main. Sees that it should be pretty easy to drop him. So he gets a control tower, but I'm sure Lucky heard the scan sound or the scan noise. He's got even more. He's got 10 gateways, 11 gateways there. 6 still on the way. He's filling out his base. He's going for pure macro. Getting level 1 armor and level 1 shield as well. Level 1 attack. He's getting... Wait. He's not getting level 1 armor. He's getting level 1 weapon and level 1 shield. Bowling pylons on the side to spot out dropships. Lucky's just going all out on macro. Leebokgu is adjusting because he's scanned. And he has himself a 3rd command center. Still only 2 barracks, 1 factory, and 3 star gates for raids to take down shuttles, but there is actually not a single robotics here inside of Lucky's base. Lucky is just gonna try to break through the front door with brute force. He's trying something different, but something I've seen in pretty much the thousands of replays I've seen and casted so far is that this approach, this tactic, strategy from Lucky, I don't think I've seen it work more than a few times when the Terran is not paying attention. But Luckyback is playing with full focus this time around. He's maybe not doing the exact right choices because he has a lot of anti-drop defense, but there are no drops coming, and he should know this because he's been scanning Lucky's base, and he is still making raids, and the raids are not going to help him. Not much, at least. The raids are not going to help him much. He needs more tanks, well, he's got enough bunkers, but might need a couple more Marines. Because Lucky is maxed out, level 1 attack finishing up very soon. The Zealot speed is finished up. He's got Templars, Dragoons, pretty much every single gateway unit you want. He's got them all prepared, getting 4 robos as well to go for the switch up right after the frontal mass attack. We're 8:20 into the game, 89 probes, maxed out supply, huge wall here in the front. And is this battering ram of an attack gonna break through, or is it just gonna kind of scratch the surface, do some damage to the depots, and not really break through? The big armies are scary, but the right countermeasures kind of render them not so scary after all. Not so scary after all. Will the bunkers do the trick? So he comes in. There's some fire bats in there, but mostly Marines going to try to break through. Level 1 shield, level 1 shield almost finished up. Level 1 attack is finished though. Fire bat there in the front, absolutely destroying the Zealots. Zealots are burning through quite quick. We've got tanks in the back providing a lot of support. Now the Zealots are on top of the bunkers. Bunkers are getting taken down. Dragoons in the back are doing a great job now, but all the Zealots are balled up and taking damage. He's breaking through, going straight for the tanks. This might actually get closer than I thought it would. We've got SCVs that are moving to the front, and no, it won't be as close as it maybe looked, because all those Zealots were already burning through their shields, low HP. We no longer have a tanker in the front. We've got a lot of factories finished up there, though, but he already lifted up those barracks, so no more Marines coming in, or no more Firebats coming in to help beef up the choke here. Luckyback almost maxed out once again. He's got 4 robos, getting drops, getting shuttle speed, getting level 1 armor, level 2 shield, level 2 weapon, level 1 air armor. Lucky has all the money he needs and all the money he wants on 93 probes, perhaps a couple too many probes, but he's got all the money he needs. He's now building on the middle as well. I assume this is all going to be gateways. All of it is going to be gateways. He's going for a lot of rates right here. A lot of rates. 2 armories. 166 supply cap. Another attack there, starting from Lucky. I don't see any tanks at all. No tanks, just raids, bunkers, SCVs, vultures. No tanks at all. It's got me a little bit scared. Templars in the... Templars might take down the raids. Raids moving forward. We got Archons as well. Storms on the raids. Raids are dodging the storms. Going for the cloak. Tries to get the raids once again with another shot there with another storm, but doesn't quite get it. This is a lot of army. This is a lot of Zealots. Tanks and vultures are spawning though. Units are spawning. SCVs are blocking. SCVs are repairing. SCVs are the MVP. Raids are trying to take down things from the air. They're doing a little bit of extra damage that he really does need. This is getting closer and closer than I thought. Leebokgu really is cutting it close. He might not have expected this. He was really expecting shuttle drops, but it's just a simple frontal gateway unit attack, maxed out supply, breaking through the front door. He broke down the front door, and a couple of units there are holding the line. 4 tanks, about 12 raids in the air, cloaked up, saving the day. He's building a new wall. SCVs are going down there in the front though, so he has to send new SCVs to the front every single time. But that got way closer than it should have been. Leebokgu seriously had no tanks at the start of that attack. And Lucky is now just keeping up the pressure, trying to make sure Leebokgu is not gonna be comfortable. Leebokgu is gonna have to keep focusing on defending, but at this point, there's just only this very narrow pathway for Lucky to walk through. So the Zealot attacks that keep coming in are honestly not as effective as they could be, was it not for this only this very small opening being there for units to come through. He's sieging up. Vultures protecting. Raids protecting the tanks. There's a lot of vultures spawning. He's just going all out on the vultures. He's got level 1 attack finished up, I believe. Level 2 attack there for Lucky. Level 2, level 3 weapon already on the way. Level 2 shields as well. More high Templars under production back at home. A lot of gateways here. A lot of gateways on the middle. 12. Another 6, so 18 on the middle. Lucky's going really hard. Really hard under production. Without a single drop. This is just basically caveman mode Protoss. Caveman mode Protoss. Who needs complex strategies and build orders? Who needs shuttle drops and diverse unit compositions when you can just make gateway units of Templar, Dragoon, Zealot and try to break through the front door? No longer gonna work though, because Leebokgu is maxed out. 65 SCVs, a lot of tanks are sieged up. He's got Vultures as well. Vultures do great against Zealots, tanks do great against Dragoons and Zealots and Templars. He's unsieging there though, he has to siege back up. Templars absolutely love the Vultures though. Vultures don't really do great against Storms. You can see the Storms are destroying the Vultures, but the Vultures are spawning really quick and taking down everything that does manage to kind of survive the tank shots and arrive at the tank. So the Vultures are doing a great job there of keeping those tanks in the back alive. A couple mines are being placed in the front. So the action is just going to keep on going. Lucky's just going to keep on building. Lucky is still not making Templar drops, which I think would really change the game if he had the diversity of sending in some Templar drops. Raids in the air there in the back protecting against Templar drops, but as I just said, Templar drops are not happening, not today, at least not yet. Maybe they are in the forecast for tomorrow, who knows? So once again, building another wall there in the front. The tanks have been doing a great job at keeping Leebokgu alive. Lucky hasn't had much success, although I am sure Leebokgu was feeling the heat. He definitely was feeling the heat. Huge Stargate proxy base here being built in the bottom middle. Another absolutely huge Zealot attack there coming in. 2 Templars in the mix. The wall there is finished though, so the tanks and bolters are just going to tear down those Zealots without much issue whatsoever. The Zealots have pretty good upgrades there though. Level 1 armor, level 2 shield, level 2 weapon, and they do penetrate through all the way onto the tanks, but the tanks there, the army has been taken down. How quickly can Lucky rebuild all of those Zealots with all those gateways? Raids though, EMP raids coming in. Too many cannons though, too many cannons. The vessel won't make it through, so no EMP there on the Nexus. But it looks like a couple of raids. No, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Does some damage on the Nexus. If he had an EMP, it would have been a little bit easier because the shield would be gone. But tries to cheese the Nexus by going in with the raids. Doesn't really get much results there. I mean, it is something, but what it cost him, it might be a little bit too high. Getting more starports now, though. Another fumbled attack there coming in. Archons are tanking the shots, but Vultures do really great against Archons, though. This is just caveman Protoss. Make Zealots, Zen Zealots attack, and pray to the gods that your Zealots kill a lot of tanks. This is a lot of tanks going down. Oh, he killed a lot of army there. And he's almost already back at maxing out. But now Leebokgu is going to have to place a lot of mines there inside this pathway to make sure that those Zealots run into mines. But little does he know, we have 2 observers in the air detecting most of the mines, except the ones there in the front. So the ones in the front here are going to kill a lot of Zealots and possibly some Dragoons, more Templars. We have shuttles. Almost 17 minutes in, the first shuttles have arrived. We're going to see some shuttle drops trying to kill those SCVs. Is he going to succeed? Is he going to fail? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen next. Shuttles? Oh, they're going to fly right over the front. We have some Goliaths there, though, but the Goliaths are not going to be enough to take down those shuttles. He's going to try to target fire a couple of them. The Valkyries coming in to save the day there, though, but if units are already unloading, Templars on the scene. 4 Templars in total. SCVs running away, trying to escape, but oh, he gets half of them. Gets half of them. Well, not exactly half, about 29. He had 69 or 66 SCVs. Does kill a large chunk of the SCVs, but at least he still has about, I'd say about 3 groups, plus 3 SCVs still alive. Zealous there running through the mines, trying to do some damage, but not going to work this time around. We've got another 2 raids there being thrown away for more supply space. Leebokgu is not really producing a whole lot new SCVs. He might try to go for the big army, small economy strategy, which can be really strong, specifically against a Protoss with 91 probes in total. It's a lot of probes. A lot of probes, which means kind of a small... Well, he's throwing away probes now, so it's... Yeah, he just threw away 12 of them. So he was thinking the same thing I was thinking, and opens up some supply space. Leebokgu now, though, is building more SCVs because he realizes his money is actually kind of low. He might need a couple more of them drop there coming in, but it's going to unload on top of the tanks and try to storm them down. Zealots are coming in as well. It's a lot of balled up Zealots. They're arriving, hitting the tanks. They do make contact. 2 tanks are doing a great job there. Zealots are currently on, let me see, that one Zealot there on the middle. 2-3-3, so almost maxed out upgrades before 20 minutes. This game feels like it's already been about 30 minutes, but we're only 19 minutes into the fight. A lot of action. Pretty much all the action has been here in this choke point since minute 9 or 8. Just a lot of units running their heads, or running into tanks, headbutting the tanks, and dying. And almost succeeding at one point. But since then, hasn't quite succeeded. He scans most of Lucky's main base, sees that there's shuttles leaving the base alongside with some Corsairs. Corsairs in large numbers, which means he's going to try to hunt down those Valkyries with the Corsairs. Tanks are moving out though, or is he? Yes, he's moving out. Usually what it means is when the enemy has a lot of Corsairs and Zealots, Corsairs and Shuttles, it means they don't have a lot of units. Because Shuttles and Corsairs take up a lot of supply space. So unloads on top of the tanks do all kind of survive. Valkyries are on the side, Shuttles are gonna make it all the way to the end. But nothing inside that one shuttle that arrived. It unloaded, units went down pretty quick, but now the entire frontal army here got taken down while we were looking at the drop. So Lucky is having some success with kind of getting back into the base and killing a large chunk of Leebokgu's army. Leebokgu only on 67 SCVs at the moment, still filling out his base, getting more turrets, getting a couple more factories. He's got pretty much got everything he needs at this point. Arbiter on the way from Lucky is still making drops, still sending units into their deaths, trying to keep Leebokgu contained while he's preparing for maxed out carrier upgrades, but he might not have the time to get carriers though. He might not have the time to get carriers. That's a very big, important detail. So the Goons in the middle, I think he maxed out his upgrades on 333. Leebokgu is almost on 333 as well. He's on 23 at the moment. He's got 4 vessels. Valkyries are doing a great job taking down shuttles and Corsairs. A lot of frontal attack there happening. Mostly Vultures. Tanks coming in as well. More Zealots there too. Storms on the Vultures. Vultures taking some real heavy damage. Now this actually kind of looks a little bit scary for a moment. Well, look, yeah, units just keep coming. They just keep coming and they just keep coming. And they just keep coming. It's just an endless stream of Zealots, Dragoons trying to kill, trying to break through. And Leebokgu is down to 165, 169 army supply. More tanks are spawning just in time to make sure that these couple Dragoons that are still there are not gonna break him. And he survives. Arbiters are on the way, stasis as well. Lucky is just spamming out units, sending them in. Drop is still being prepared. Mostly Zealots. Mostly Zealots. I do think you should just try to... Well, it's kind of hard and difficult to get past those Valkyries with Leebokgu playing as aware as he currently is. A lot of cannons on the side denying him vision. But he's going for unload on top of the tanks, but not quite having success. Could have been really ugly if that went a little bit better. He didn't pick the right angle. A couple of Valkyries took down some shuttles as well. So not every single unit inside the shuttles managed to unload. So Leebokgu again on the pushback, and for the first, I think for about the first time, Leebokgu was ahead in supply over Lucky. But Lucky has so many gateways. 18 on the middle, another 20 here back at home. So 38 gateways. You can make 38 units at the same time. I mean, that's just a lot of production happening all at the same time. Also, it's got, I think, about 10, 11 Stargates or a carrier switch, but the carrier switch might not happen. Huge confrontation on the middle. Tanks not sieged up. Zealots breaking through. Tanks are sieging up a little bit too late, though, because now the Zealots are on top of the tanks. which means that the tanks are killing themselves a little bit. So he loses a large chunk of his army down to 150 supply. Lucky already maxed out. Leebokgu might want to pull back a little bit. Leebokgu might want to pull back a little bit. His army is getting replaced really quick, but he doesn't have a lot of machine shops. And at this point, the question is, can he afford to spend time building machine shops? Zealots are coming in, Zealots are unloading on top of the tanks. This is getting pretty ugly. This is all going to go down. As exactly as I said, Leebokgu might want to pull back, and he pulls back a little bit too late. Now he's got units here in the choke, but will these units be enough? Yeah, looks like there will be. Looks like there will be. The Vultures just do such a great job taking down Zealots that even though he lost a large chunk of his army there on the middle, he is still finding their back. And the choke. He just needs a couple more machine shops so he can build more than 5 tanks per macro cycle. He's relying a lot on Vultures. Storms from a high ground, kill some units. I'm going to add on the last couple of factories. Arbiters are somewhere on the map, but I don't know where they are. I do know an Arbiter was finished up, but it is it's missing somewhere. I just can't find the I know an Arbiter has been built, but there it is. So Leebokgu is now pushing back into the middle. Still down on army supply, but do keep in mind most of Lucky's supply is in gateways. It is under production. Recall on the way there for Lucky. He's got a stasis, gets a good stasis on some tanks. The units keep streaming and streaming and streaming and streaming in across the map. Just a non-stop wave of production. Lucky is a macro monster. Actually, a macro monster. So EMP there on the Arbiter, which means no more stasis, no more recall. So they're going to try to sneak in. Leebokgu's army is getting really small here. The Leebokgu's army is getting really small. He's building a lot of Vultures, but the Vultures are kind of losing their usefulness at this point. I kind of feel like the Vultures should be tanks instead. But as I said before, he doesn't really have enough machine shops. So he physically is unable to build more tanks than he actually needs. The mines, though, are helping him out quite a little bit. There are no more observers here on the scene. Templar on the high ground, storms on the Vultures. Vultures trying to dodge. Leebokgu is playing really focused. Leebokgu is producing, fighting, micring at the same time. Both players are playing really impressively here. Both players are really pushing and putting their all into trying to win. Kind of interesting, Leebokgu only on 7 gas. You don't need that much gas if you're only producing tanks from 5 factories and Vultures from every single other factory. A couple Goliaths in the mix there as well to deal with the Arbiter. That's a smart choice. He might want to place a lot of mines. The mines are being placed. There's no observers on the middle. EMPs on the Dragoons. Nice choice. But he's breaking through. There's too many units. There's too many units. Not enough tanks. He's on top of the tanks. The shuttle there unloaded. Went in. Dropped on the tanks. A lot of tanks there went down. He doesn't have a lot of tanks left. There's 1 tank there in the choke and 1 in the front. It's mostly all just Vultures. Can he do this? 5 tanks are going to spawn very soon. 1 tank there in the choke protecting. The barracks is actually buying him a lot of time. It's buying him time because the Dragoons are killing the barracks first. The tanks have spawned. Vultures are blocking the entire entrance. Storms are coming down on the Vultures. Dragoons are trying to break through, but Dragoons are kind of clunky, kind of big. If he had more Zealots in this case and a couple more Templars, I think he would have been able to kill Leebokgu right here. But the Dragoons staying at a distance, eating all those tank shots, unable to get up close and personal with those tanks. Now a huge wave of Zealots coming in. Please make some machine shops. Please get more tanks. I beg you, Leebokgu, please get a couple more machine shops. I'm getting nervous here. I really want Leebokgu to win this game because he's holding on. He's playing at 300 plus APM. which is a feat for Leebokgu, because Leebokgu usually is about 250 to 280. If he's playing at 300, he is playing at maximum potential, full out, maximum power, full focus, full control. He's putting his all into trying to win. And Lucky Back himself is doing really well too. But he might need to switch over into carriers at some point. He's got all this carrier production here on the bottom middle, but no carriers yet. We have battle cruisers on the way there for Leebokgu. Huge army breaking through. Beautiful storms. A lot of units going down. Arbiter arriving. Vessels hunting for the Arbiter, trying to EMP. Battle cruisers cleaning up the last couple of zealots that are still there on the scene. Leebokgu's going for a lot of battle cruisers, and honestly, I'm not sure if that is a good choice, because his opponent has Arbiters, and Arbiters with stasis are going to just lock up and freeze the battlecruisers for a very long time. And he's got 2 Arbiters at the moment. 1 more on the way. He's got 6 Arbiters, 7 if the last one finishes. So those battlecruisers can get locked up forever and ever and ever. Never-ending freezing. Stuck in the Frozone forever and ever. Until the game is over, kind of. I've got a bad feeling about this, but the battlecruisers in the air are a beautiful sight to behold. I really like the fact that he is even trying. Great defensive matrix, but here comes the Arbiter. And there is pretty much every single battlecruiser is locked up in stasis. And now we are in a lot of trouble. He's got more battlecruisers on the way back at home, storming on every single thing he can, but misses most of the storms. Now finally here hitting. This is the first time this game in 30 minutes that he's actually touching those gateways on the middle. So he's made a lot of progress forward. A lot of progress has been made, but Arbiters are coming across the map, ready to keep putting those battlecruisers in stasis. Tanks are getting taken down. The mines did clear out some Dragoons. More mines are being placed. No observers on the middle. Arbiters are splitting up to make sure that they don't get EMP'd. That's all their EMPs. 2 Arbiters. Great job. But another stasis comes out on those battlecruisers, and I think that's about 7 battlecruisers locked up in stasis, which is 7 times 6 in supply. 42. It really hurts. Really, really hurts. And more battlecruisers, more Arbiters, and that is about 12, 13, 14 battlecruisers locked in stasis. Vessels as well. He doesn't really have much room for an army, whereas Lucky, I mean, Leebokgu is throwing away more SCVs because he needs an army. And these battlecruisers, the great thing about stasis is that Lucky can just keep locking them up in stasis. He doesn't have to kill them. He's going to kill them, though, with the storms. Because it looks like at the moment he does not have energy for another stasis. If he had energy for another stasis, he would just lock those battlecruisers back up, ignore them, and keep locking them up in stasis. Back to back, non-stop, all the time. He's still building battlecruisers. He's not building tanks. And a drop comes in at the worst possible time. There's nothing inside though, so a small little lucky call there for Leebokgu. As Lucky is now pushing through the front door. A lot of tanks just finished up, so he's going to hold this for now. With an Arbiter in the air, Templars in the back, Dark Templars in the mix. Arbiter in the front, might get taken down. No, it survives. Almost went down. Almost went down. Storms on the tanks. This is dangerous. Got battlecruisers on the way in the back. If only Leebokgu had more gas and more machine shops. This is it. I think this is it. I think the game is over because look at those Templars coming in, ready to storm everything to death. Tanks and the vultures are spawning, but Leebokgu low on gas. 160 supply. Arbiter in the back. Arbiter busts the stasis on the battle cruisers once again. Leebokgu calls GG. He knows it's over because he doesn't have... He made some questionable choices going for battle cruisers. It was very bold, very daring. Very daring choice to go for the battle cruisers, but nope, not meant to work. Not meant to work. Not against Arbiters. Not against High Templars. This is simply something that will not work. It's fun. It looks fun, because we don't really see it much. So it looks a lot of fun, but it's simply not going to work. That's all I can say. It's simply not going to work. Thanks for watching. It was RJB for RJB TV, and I hope to see you return next time when I make another video yet again. Have a good day, have a good night, or have a good morning, and have a good weekend. Have a good week. Have a good life. See you later.